Hey, it's E.W. Hulbert, the Analytics Dude, and I'm here with my Week 3 vlog on my journey through Microsoft's professional program in artificial intelligence, a free online class that you can take if you want to learn how to become an AI engineer. If we haven't met before, I'm E.W. Hulbert, the founder of the analyticsdude.com, a site dedicated to helping you identify the skills you need to find a job in data science, the techniques in order to make you good at the job, and the presentation skills in order for you to be able to convince people to actually take action based on those recommendations. So week 3 of the program, and I have finished the first section, which is called Introduction to Artificial Intelligence. And it was good. It's heavily based on Microsoft's programs. They talk you through how to integrate a lot of their existing services with a real emphasis on being a practitioner. They talk through the theory some, but you got to remember it's a short class. It's just the introduction, and they have a lot to cover in there. When I said short, I said in the first installment of this that I would tell you how long it took. I would tell you how much it cost. So it took me almost exactly 8 hours, which is more or less what the course said. And it cost me, with an asterisk, it cost me $4.90 of the $200 in free credit that Microsoft gives you when you start a trial account. So it has cost me nothing out of pocket. To be honest, I don't know where that $4.90 went. I haven't kept track of it yet, but as I keep going in this, if those start looking like they're going to get close to the full amount, like I'd have to pay something out of pocket, I will absolutely track where that went and help you avoid pitfalls to make sure that it doesn't cost you anything. So I just finished the last 2 modules of it, which were image detection and classification and analysis, as well as some chatbots. And the image detection and analysis is super cool. So I took linear algebra in college, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember it all that well. We talked about images and how images were essentially a matrix. The computer sees a matrix full of numbers. A grayscale picture is a 2D matrix. A color picture is a 3D matrix, or a 3-dimensional matrix. And so they talk through some of the techniques, analytical techniques, that the computer uses to identify images in there, and specifically what they call edge detection and corner detection. And it's really pretty interesting, I thought. So what the computer does in order to find edges or find corners, real important points in the picture that help define an object in the picture, is it converts it to grayscale and then sees a gradient. So it converts it to gray, and it looks over the course of the picture, and when it sees a very sharp change in the color, which is grayscale, when it sees a very sharp change in essentially the shading, it identifies that as either an edge. Edges have to be vertical, horizontal, and then or a corner, where a corner, an edge means essentially in one direction. It sees a massive gradient. A corner means that from that point, in any direction that you go, there's a massive gradient, which makes sense when you think about it. That's essentially what a corner is it's the edge, it's a point edge rather than a plane edge. And so I thought that was pretty cool. I think that's an interesting concept, the way that computers see that. And toward the end of the class, it goes into Microsoft's image analysis, the computer vision package. And holy crap, it's good. It's a little scary. The stuff in there where it actually describes the picture in natural language, and it's pretty accurate. Like, he shows a couple of pictures in there where there's one picture of the instructor wearing a tie. He's an older guy, but it says a young man with a tie. But it doesn't like list out tags or anything. It describes it as a young man wearing a tie. But he's in a sport coat. He's not wearing a tie, so I got that wrong, but it's still kind of interesting. And then Microsoft's, of course, in Seattle, and so he went to a Seattle Sounders match in MLS, and he took a picture of the field, and you can see some players on the field, and you see the stands behind that, and it recognized it as fans watching a football match, which to me is like, holy cow, it's so fast, the way it really naturally describes what's going on. I was telling my neighbor afterwards, it's like, holy cow, that's the Terminator, Skynet's not that far away. So I really kind of want to understand how that's going to work if I have to worry about the Terminators chasing me. But no, in all seriousness, it was very cool technology. The AI course ends with chatbots, which, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't like. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of by now the Turing Test, aka the imitation game, something Alan Turing came up with a long time ago before any of this stuff was possible. About your ability to communicate with the machine, and when something passes the Turing test, it wins the imitation game, is when a human can't tell whether they're talking to a human or a machine. There are chatbots out there that win that. There's a competition for it, actually. But every time I've texted with a chatbot where I'm trying to get help on something, I've always known. I don't really like it. To me, if I'm taking the time to proactively reach out and ask for something, it means I've already searched, and these things aren't typically going to be able to solve my problems by searching or using some pre-filled response. At that point, I really want to talk to a human being who understands my motivations, understands what I'm really looking for. That being said, it was pretty cool. It was awesome how easily you could integrate it with things. So right there, you had the ability to build these responses directly into Cortana. So Microsoft's AI agent Cortana, which was on Microsoft phones back when those were a thing, but it was on Windows 10. Is that what they're on now? Windows 8, 10, both of those probably. You can build the functionality directly into there. So I'm pretty sure it doesn't get pushed out to all the Cortanas. That would be terrifying if you had the ability to break Cortana worldwide, or have it do something silly like every time you said this, it would call your mom or your girlfriend or something. That would be odd. I'm pretty sure it's just the local build, but it's still very cool that you could essentially just add commands to the AI interface there. I thought that was rather exceptional and awesome. And as I've said before on some of these things, Microsoft is obviously pushing their own products, which makes sense. It's a Microsoft class. It's internal training material on how to do this AI stuff, and Microsoft has a lot of really good tools. And one of the things at the end, they have an intro to AI engineering, and so they show you like how a virtual Azure machine works. So if your computer's not super fast, you don't want to do this, you can have a virtual machine where it's a machine that's up on a server somewhere, and you log in through it, and it shows you a desktop that's on this remote machine somewhere, and which is very cool. It's it ranges from somewhat powerful to extremely powerful. So you don't need to buy a $3,000 laptop if you only need it for a couple weeks. You can literally rent the ability to do this stuff on the server. But the thing that I thought was pretty funny is it shows the desktop, and right there on the desktop, like pre-installed off the shelf, is Firefox. It's like even Microsoft is admitting that everyone hates Internet Explorer. They put Firefox on there. I'm guessing they couldn't bring themselves to put Chrome on there, but adding Firefox I found to be totally humorous. I'm sure Internet Explorer's on there somewhere, and whatever they call their new one, Edge or whatever. But just including that on an official Microsoft product is pretty funny. All right, and so the next course, so I finished the Introduction to AI. The next course is Python for Data Science, which is a collaboration class with Datacamp. Now, I've looked at some of the free stuff from Datacamp before, and it's quite good. I was really impressed with it, so I have high hopes for this. My notes from Intro to AI will be on the Facebook group. I'm going to share them there. The link to that group, you need to request membership, but I'll approve you. The link will be down below in the show notes. And I'll post my notes there. I'll post my time log so you can see like, hey, these are the dates I worked on it. This is the time. So you can, I guess I could lie about that, but I'm not. You can see, the actual time that I spent on these things. And then next week we'll talk about Python. So until then, I'm E.W. Hulbert, the Analytics Dude. Thanks for watching.